In this practice, we will see the experimental part of electronic timers and sensors. To start the practice, the sensor is connected. The signal from the relay's common terminal is sent to the solenoid valve, and the normally open output is connected to the voltage source. To connect the normally open button, the 12 power supply that feeds the sensor is connected to the trigger signal and connected to the trigger of the second sensor. This way, the circuit is not receiving the signal until the button is pressed and the circuit is closed, receiving the signal and activating the first rod. The sensors are programmed so that the first one receives the signal and activates the solenoid valve of the first piston, counts to 10, and returns to its initial position. The sensor belonging to the second piston receives the signal, waits for 5 seconds, sends the signal to the second solenoid valve for 5 seconds, and it's activated. This programming in the sensors eliminates the need for sensors that detect the end of the stroke, so they can be dispensed with. In the first part, another dysfunctional solenoid valve was used, so we opted to switch to 3 valves and instead of supplying the sensor with 5 volts. It was supplied with 12 volts and hence the connections to the voltage source. As for the sensor connection and programming, it was exactly the same. And finally, shows how the button is connected, the grounds and the solenoid valve are energized. The conditioning unit is pressurized, the button is pressed, and the operation starts.